Welcome to The Cause Effect with your host, Carl Kozlowski, and his team of correspondents bringing you the world's bad news badly. And now, Carl Kozlowski. All right, everyone, this is Carl Kozlowski. And yes, our theme song is one of the favorite songs of the American Psycho, Patrick Bateman. I just realized that watching the movie this week, he loved to pull a train and then kill women after listening to that song. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and let's bringing you in on another week of weird news. I'm Carl Kozlowski, your host, and our panel this week is very illustrious. We have one of my absolute favorite people on the planet, and one of our most frequent panelists, our feisty feminist Penelope Lombard in the house.
Hello.
Yay!
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and rounding out the rest of the panel, we have our special guest this week, fantastic rising star comic, and just one of the funniest chaps on the planet, Thomas Kellogg.
Hey! Thank you. Yay!
Bringing it home also, another return panelist after a couple weeks off, which is my fault, but hey, we got to mix it up sometimes. Scott Sycamore, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to talk massive shit, Carl.
Uh-oh. And then a very special guest. I've heard about this guy forever from the last panelist you'll hear from in this intros. Very good friend of this gentleman, and he's a conservative who's very funny, David Stein.
Hello there, good to be here.
And finally, Eric Porvaznik, one of our other frequent panelists on The Cause Effect, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Thanks for having me back, Carl. And you know, this is the first time I think you got the name right.
What?
Not bad for someone with a similar last name to mine.
I always mixed up your Eric Porvaznik.
No. It's okay. I love it. You did it. It's great. I'm saying thank you.
Okay.
Saying you're a bad host.
Oh, well, that could be
get past
said.
that.
You're forgetful.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump in here. This week, we're facing another crisis. It seems our government is being run as a big game of kick the can these days. It's like both sides are at fault. I think everybody should be like rounded up and sent home and just start over. But basically, we go from fiscal cliff to budget debt ceiling rises, and now the sequester raises its ugly head for the first time since the Reagan era. It was a forced combination of spending cuts and tax increases, or actually forced spending cuts because they couldn't come up with a compromise of how to bring both together to affect cuts in other ways to bring down our deficit. And so now everybody's running around like it's Chicken Little and the sky is falling because, oh my God, we're dropping $86 billion in spending out of our, trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. But so what say you, everybody? Starting with Penelope, any opinions about the sequestration?
Come on.
I still don't understand if we've gone over the fiscal cliff.
You know what? I think a sequestration sounds like something you do to a horse. I don't know.
You know what?
It does.
It's like equestrian sequestration.
It sounds fancy.
It sounds sexual, too. I'm here to sequester
I don't know.
you.
Half of the cuts are to the Pentagon, and that might be a good idea just because we have a lot of military spending, but I don't know if that'll be good cuts, and I hate to see jobs cut, so I really don't know if they will be, though. The fiscal cliff was supposed to be a pretty harsh blow, and I don't understand if we hit the debt ceiling. I don't understand any of these things.
I know, it's very confusing out there,
Cue
isn't
the
it?
Elton John because we're still standing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like to think of Fiscal Cliff as just one person, just one dude. He's just like, I'm fiscal.
Oh, you mean like his name is Fiscal Cliff?
Yeah, he's like, I'm Fiscal Cliff.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he's kind of a nerd and that's his nickname? He's an expert on money?
Yeah, and like, the government's trying to figure out what they're going to do with him. And he's like, I don't want to do it.
Fiscal Cliff is like the cartoon character that they should be using to educate all of us on the problems.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Schoolhouse Rock with the I'm just a bill
Yeah.
at Capitol Hill. Why don't we have Fiscal Cliff? And have like Cliff from Cheers show up in cartoon form and explain it all to us.
Of course, Kaz. You know how people in college do semester at sea, like they go on a cruise ship or whatever for a couple months and study.
Hopefully a better cruise ship than that one from a couple weeks ago.
Sequester.
Pussy.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. They should have sequester at sea, but they should mix it with that cruise ship, so all Congress has to shit in bags and
Sequester
piss over the
Island.
railing. Yeah, Sequesterly Fantasy Island, and
I'm confused. Wait, why would Congress be on a cruise ship?
So they can shit in a bag. It's a sequester at sea.
Oh, semester at sea. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wasn't there that series
yeah.
Sequest?
Sequest.
Yeah, so Sequester, DSV. Yeah.
That one dude killed himself.
Yeah, Brandis.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan Brandis.
Jonathan
killed
Brandis,
himself.
yeah.
Sidekicks, man.
If only more of our congressmen had killed themselves.
No, he was.
No. He was just he was a hunk.
He was a heartthrob.
Yeah. So.
He was JTT before JTT was JTT.
Wow.
Yeah, fool.
And then it
Or
became
18.
JT, Justin
And then
Timberlake.
JT, and then Fiscal Cliff.
And then JB, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Oh, not BJ's. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
And the bear?
So what's the big deal here? It's 2.2% of government spending. Porvaznik, do you have any further knowledge about how this stuff breaks down?
Porvaznik.
Well, yes. I just think that it would be nice as we sit and we take a cut here, a cut there, and it's always interesting. The first cuts that the government threatens are Social Security, the military, and yet nobody ever stops to think, well, you know what? Hey, public servants making X amount of dollars. Why don't you guys take a pay cut?
This hits a lot of them.
That's
And
what.
but I'm here. I read this morning. I don't know how much it's affecting her, but it was brought up this morning that somehow the federal employees need to have a pay raise right now. I mean, the economy is sinking, and yet federal employees are getting pay raises.
Are they?
They're cutting it off from the. I thought they're cutting a lot from the
Yeah,
government,
they are.
right?
It's a lot of government
So
jobs.
they're burning their own building down in order they can.
Well, they're still getting but there probably are still getting some raises out there. I mean,
they are.
I
Getting
don't
raises.
know. I
They're
haven't-
punching themselves in the face so that we think they're crazy, so we don't
Right.
fight them.
Right.
They're like, look at what we do to ourselves. You want to fuck with us? Like, look at
Right.
this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill my friend's
Right.
job. Don't think I'm not gonna mess with you. I'm just,
well, the thing is, what's ridiculous to me is that Nancy Pelosi a couple weeks ago said that they can't take pay cuts at the House of Representatives and the Senate because it would diminish the dignity of the job.
Undignified.
And I'm like, wait a minute, if you guys would make a symbolic, they're all making $160,000 minimum, I believe.
You know what? They do not have enough dignity to diminish it.
Yeah.
At this point.
They all-
They've done enough. It can't possibly be about what they get
They
paid.
should try porn.
Dignity with a 9% approval rating.
I know, that's what I'm saying is that if they would all it would be a symbolic drop in the bucket, but people would really be shocked in a good way, I think, if they could all go,
It's
you know what,
goodwill, yeah.
because they're all millionaires anyway, a lot of them.
They make it off
so it's like,
investments, insider trading.
take $50,000 pay cuts, they're still making more than most Americans, they're still making six figures, and it would go a long way to making the public go, wow, they might actually break a 10 or 20% approval.
I say, wow.
What was that appallingly ridiculous figure of jobs being lost that Maxine Waters?
Yeah, it was
did?
170 million jobs would be lost. But by the way, there are only 134 million employed. So
Well,
there's
that's
like,
Democratic math, see, that's the
There's-
problem.
It's the new man.
Hey now.
Yeah. So some people that are unemployed now will be extra
Unemployed.
They'll be so unemployed.
They will
can
get
not
it.
work.
How unemployed will they be?
They
Yeah.
will not work two jobs.
I want to know how does somebody as stupid as Maxine Waters how is she even allowed to leave her own house, much less enter the House of Representatives
I
on
think
a
she
daily
fits
basis?
right in there. I think she's sharp for there.
I think she's squatting.
She's an excellent driver.
But but it's also weird. Nobody wants to take the blame for this whole thing, and they finally admitted that it was Obama who said, "Fine, let's sequester to begin with." He put the idea out there to begin with, and now he's complaining and going, "Oh, gee, I can't believe I'm forced to do this. That it's all the Republicans' fault."
He's good at that. He's very good at washing away or abdicating any responsibility. He's good. I'll give him credit. He's a master at doing it.
Well,
But he takes responsibility.
and what were
I think
I don't know, but he
regardless,
takes it.
Zero Dark 30.
I think it was
Yeah, man.
a bad solution to a problem that neither side would solve at the time. They won't
Yeah,
solve it
yeah.
now. So I think his part in it is almost the least, and I think he should just admit it. I don't think it's that big of a deal if he suggested it
Yeah,
or not.
I mean,
it was
it's
to get
fair.
past that point. It was a problem then. It's a problem now. Wasn't
Yeah.
a good solution then, but nobody would come together and find a solution.
I just realized, doesn't sequestration, wasn't it something that like the Constitution dealt with regarding British troops during the Revolutionary War? I mean,
You
how the
can't
hell does that have to do with
sequester them
this?
in your house, and you need muskets and shit.
Yeah, so
The Patriot.
while we're cracking down on guns, we're sequestering our budget, but we can't sequester we can't sequester British troops.
I think
It's very
we need,
confusing.
We need a Seacrest station, and we like all Congress can interview people on the red carpet.
I want Seacrest Nation out.
It's Seacrest Nation, baby.
But
We're just living it.
another Obama news, Michelle Obama. Boy, she's just everywhere, huh?
Segue.
And boy, at the end of the Oscars last week, the producers claimed they would have done the same if it was Ann Romney in the White House. Yeah, right. They're like, oh, we wanted to like throw things into a dignified historical direction and involve the White House either way. But so Michelle, through some secret setup, was put out to announce Best Picture for Argo via satellite. And, on the one hand, it's like, okay, what's the big deal? It's not like a major crisis. On the other hand, even some of the hotshots at MSNBC that totally worship Obama were like, enough already. Do you have to be on everything? So, anybody have opinions about how the Oscars goes?
If I can say, one of my unique abilities is I can take any news story and make it apply to me personally. Because I'm just that self-indulgent.
That's
just
wonderful.
the nature of who I am. And my takeaway from the Michelle Obama Oscar moment was the next day I'm pointing out to friends of mine that it just so happened to come on the 40th anniversary of when Sacheen Littlefeather went up to lecture everyone when Brando sent her up there to accept his Oscar, and I was fascinated by the fact that how many of my friends, especially my younger friends, had no idea who Sacheen Littlefeather is, and it made me feel old. So Michelle Obama made me feel old specifically. So I take it personally.
That
very
was
personally.
That was her goal.
Yeah.
Look, the subtext of this story is that Kaz is threatened by strong black women. I think we can agree on that one. I'm related to Kaz now.
Well, especially Monique and Precious, she was very just
Yeah,
very
that was
frightening.
really Gabor Sibidede.
I don't-
up on that
I don't think it
stage.
matters much whether she was at the Oscars, and she's making a real push on childhood obesity,
Yeah.
which there's. I think she'll do every appearance
Well, I don't think she
until
said
kids
anything
aren't
about.
so
He
fat.
doesn't want any more preciousness.
We're in a social.
It's a PR thing. It's like she really doesn't want
Well, she
kids
didn't
to be
discuss.
so fat.
She didn't discuss childhood diabetes. She said Argo.
Yeah, I know, but just her presence now means you better get up and
Do some exercises.
do some jumping jacks or push-ups because you're fat, kids. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what it means when you see her.
We're in a social just universe now. I mean, with Twitter and everything,
Yeah.
the president, the first lady, they have to be more out there. Like our athletes are more out there. We have more.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman
Oh, we're
is
getting to
taking
that.
it with the Korean kid. He's
The kid.
the emperor, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh my
Let's not
God.
confuse athlete with thug.
Oh,
Oh, the worm.
Old school Celtics fan, remembering his days with the Pistons. So it's
Yeah, man, put him in the dirt. I mean, it's like, yeah, he's a cross-dresser, and who knows if...
Well,
He broke his
But what-
dick.
who did Rodman?
Yeah, did you hear that story? He was
No.
having sex with Carmen Electra, and she broke his dick.
How that happened?
wild.
How?
I think they were having sex. I don't think they were. I think that's how you break your dick.
Normally one doesn't.
Maybe he was
break
writing
one's
with it
dick.
in cursive.
It's the L's that are tough.
Well,
I think
maybe his dick's out
I
of
don't
the job. That's why it's broken, you know?
But Carl, if
Losing
we're,
jobs.
if we're going to skip to him, just in case people don't know, maybe they do.
What?
Look,
But about Dennis Rodman and
Yeah.
his
Oh, yeah,
political. Oh, are you going to?
Absolutely. That's
Michelle
Priority.
Michelle's still a better actor than Benjamin Affleck. That's all I have to say.
I watched Good Will Hunting today, and I will say no.
You're wrong.
I will watch Argo and say no. The guy can direct the hell out of himself.
Yeah, he did
just can't.
If only he just put somebody else.
How you like me now?
what? I thought he did a good job in that movie. I don't know.
I thought he
I
did
did
great in
too.
Hollywood
Or
land.
go fuck yourself.
I think the town though that was the shit. That should have been.
And what a creative
Yeah, that
title,
wasn't the
too.
best.
You didn't like the town?
I didn't love
He
it.
said the
I didn't
shit,
love
and
it.
you thought he said shit.
I said that was the shit.
Oh, I
Not
thought you said
shit.
it was shit.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay, we do not agree then.
Oh,
Renner's just.
So it was okay. I didn't
Beast.
think it was
Renner's
great.
a beast.
He is.
But now this is just too casual.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, well, everybody, we're moving this on here.
I
We're
just
all
wish
stepping up.
Affleck were gone, baby, gone. Oh, they keep coming. Much like his career, the hits keep coming.
Hey, you're making me Gigli all over.
Sequester on your face.
So,
And/or Silent Bob might strike back.
as we mentioned, Dennis Rodman defending the rogue North Korean regime. Okay, so of all the surprises of the week, I gotta say, seeing Dennis Rodman sitting next to that fat little twerp of a dictator in North Korea and having some laughs, and it's like, what was that about?
He can rebound.
That is like, you really need friends so bad, Dennis.
Oh, he's
You know what
broke.
I
He
mean?
must have been paid like major money
Your
to
friends
show up.
are really done with you.
Well, with a
if
broken
you're
schwanz, I
reaching
mean.
out to Kim Jong-Un.
No, I mean, I think there was some. Have you heard this about how the Pope quit over transvestite party allegations? Did you hear about
What?
that?
No, I want to hear this one.
Pope Cardinal. I'm thinking maybe there's a similar thread there with Dennis Rodman and the North Korean guy. But look into it.
No, what happened with the transvestite
I
party?
heard that there was like this master list of Vatican guys, Vatican dudes that showed up on these transvestite party whatever masked ball list. I don't
Wow.
know
Yeah,
what the hell
it's
it is.
in
I didn't
Leviticus.
It's in Leviticus,
Yeah.
right? And so the Pope is like embarrassed at that or something, and that's why he stepped in. Oh no, his name was supposed to be on it. Sure.
Like he was hosting, like party.
That's a VIP.
Yeah, he looks like he really rocks.
Red Shoe Diaries.
He
all
just
over.
had to buy 2 drinks when he got there.
No, I think he wears those dresses on because he's a pope.
That's a robe. It's not a dress.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you're mistaken.
I think that's just-
The drinks are
They're
communion.
robes. They're not
Yeah.
dresses.
Of course.
They're not figure flattering.
Look, there's no phallic anything, okay?
I don't know.
The big spiky thing that they
But
have.
you know what will be great with this Dennis Rodman thing is if history shows us that Dennis Rodman was like the key figure in some peace agreement
Yeah.
or some road to like.
Idiocracy 2. We go back into 2013. Dennis Rodman brokered the peace.
Turns out he
correct.
was smarter than all of us,
Well,
and that
he's
he
in
was
touch
the
with his feminine.
mastermind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, he didn't come out looking like a brainiac with George Stephanopoulos.
Yeah. Well, he was saying that.
He was on there.
Yeah, that's what they talked about, and he said that that the North Korean dictator told him to relay a message for Obama to call him. I'm like, really? You need to go through Dennis Rodman? And Rodman goes, well, they both like basketball, so there's some common ground.
Sounds
Yeah.
like Charlie Sheen talking to Chris Dorner.
Yeah, and he said that Kim Jong Un is just a really good leader because of the people there. You just really respect him.
Well, they respect him because they have to respect
They love
him,
basketball,
or they
though.
die.
Well, imagine if Michael Jordan could, take his Nazi mustache wearing self over to North Korea or wherever. They could do some serious diplomacy. I mean,
Yeah, but you
you're
also
not on the
gotta-
mustache thing.
You got to also figure that you got people like Sean Penn who realize that probably in the very near future they're going to have to find a new dictator to support because who knows how long Ugo is going to be with us
You mean pet
anymore.
dictator.
And so you got a guy like Sean Penn who probably feels like he's just been beaten to the punch because he was
Maybe.
probably the one who wanted to go over there first.
Yeah.
Maybe Kim Jong Un will turn out to be a really great guy.
Maybe. He loves hip hop. He's just like a kid.
He's the Marco Rubio of the Asian world.
What's the hip hop part? I didn't know about that.
He just loves hip hop culture. He loves basketball.
Yeah,
He's-
man.
He wears FUBU, I think.
Yeah.
He's just a good guy.
They would just send.
If it wasn't for all the prison camps and the starvation,
He's like Stein without the song.
Yes.
If they would just send Magic
And the
Johnson,
likability.
if they would send Magic Johnson and Nelly over there, I think it would be.
If they sent Magic Johnson, they'd have like 1 billion movie theaters and stuff.
Exactly.
He would
Kill
just-
2 birds with 1 stone. Shaq.
A movie star in his own right.
yes,
And,
Kazam.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but if you want to.
No, he
okay.
has like 6 albums. You're right. So I like
Oh, that's
I'll have
true.
them all.
Did you guys ever hear Kobe or Shaq's rap diss against Kobe? And he was just like, "Tell me how my ass tastes."
Oh, really?
He just said that over and over again.
It's raw.
Tell me how my ass tastes.
Pull the ring out.
But going back to the Pope, this is something I didn't have on my list this week, but I had to find out. They're saying, here's the speculation: did a cross-dressing priest sex ring bring down Benedict XVI? And they say of all the rumors floating around about why he's hanging up his Camaro, I guess, and driving the Camaro into the future. Yeah, that's what his robe is apparently, or his hat. Is that They say, according to several well-placed Vaticanisti or Vatican experts in Rome, he's resigning after being handed a secret red-covered dossier. Everything's red over there. What's up with that? Red. That includes details about a network of gay priests who work inside the Vatican, but who play in secular Rome. The priests, it seems, are allegedly being blackmailed by a network of male prostitutes who worked at a sauna in Rome's Quarto Miglio district, a health spa in the city center. Wow. So that's what's going on.
This is very detailed. This is very detailed rumor. This is like on Saturdays they meet at Cinnabon and then they go. Like, what? This is, who's...
They apparently have
spreading
video
this
and
rumor?
photos of them caught on
this-
film in drag and in some cases caught in the act.
in this
red-handed.
dossier. I just think looking at that Pope, if he had any involvement in this, it was some time ago, perhaps.
Who can bring this fucking
Right?
hot?
No, well, they're all old. They just look like golden girls dressed up.
What if they're faking it?
Ooh, it's not Vatican.
Shuffling around slowly, their
Yeah.
robes, oh, we're old.
They just got out of the bath. What do you want, At all times. They need those robes.
But why do you guys think that he doesn't want to be Pope?
Yeah, ask the Jew.
I don't know, he's 85.
Yes.
That's really, really good. Start with the Jew.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't actually. I
Oh,
do
do you
know,
think he's converting?
I'm a Jew.
I do know that I was always suspicious of a German Pope. You got to be a little suspicious of that. And again, that's just me.
He does wear a yarmulke.
Right.
So,
Well, sort of.
well, it's
It's a giant
very
He has a beanie.
yarmulke-like.
I did think something was up. I didn't necessarily fantasize on this level about what it might have been, but what do
doesn't,
you guys? What do you think it is? Do you think he doesn't want to be Pope or what?
Switching from the Jewish guy to the Catholic guy, I think
Yeah.
that it's. I don't want to say. It's hard to say. Like coming after Pope John Paul II, who's Pope for most all of my life, I've always looked at Pope Benedict XVI, the transitional Pope, and
Transitional.
I wish very nice. I wish they would have gone with there's a cardinal in Nigeria who has now come back to the top of the list, and Brazil. It would be nice to go that direction now. I think so. I don't know why he decided to retire. The age can't be good. I mean, part of me, with that in mind, maybe John Paul II should have stepped down sooner. But I don't know. It's this story I just
But
heard about today.
traditionally, none of them step down.
Well, they haven't
Traditionally,
done it
they
for 600
die
years.
being
Yeah, they
Pope.
stay till they
yeah.
die. Yeah.
I think he
It's
saw
like
behind the
Supreme Court
curtain.
justice, more or
I
less.
think.
They don't
You
step
think he's
down.
what? Wait, what would you
I
say?
think he saw behind the curtain. He's just like, oh,
Behind
okay,
the dress.
I'm not going to put my name to this. I'm not gonna-
See, the Pope doesn't step down. He steps out, girlfriend.
Oh.
And it's not Vatican, it's Vatiman over there. It sounds like. And I was going to say, that cardinal from Nigeria.
They certainly don't say Vatican, apparently.
The cardinal from Nigeria, does he offer to keep your money in the Vatican bank for if you give him $15 million?
Is that where that guy's from?
I haven't got an email yet. They haven't got. The club hasn't sent me anything yet.
Is the Vatican is that African Pope candidate? Is he actually from Nigeria?
I believe so.
Oh my God! Let the money
Nigeria-
jokes begin.
It's Nigeria or the Sudan. It's one of the two. I think he's very active.
Oh, man.
Do you go to Catholic church, and
Every week.
is this discussed there, or
Today
just
was-
while you're
today
having
was-
cookies
this
quietly?
was the first day
after?
that we've been without a pope because he stepped down a couple.
I know.
days ago.
Was it? Did you guys just go crazy? What happened?
I went last night to mass for the first time in a while.
It was crazy enough with the people, the select or the elect, where because it's it's the season for the RCIA candidates, people who are becoming Catholic. So it was weird in that regard today. So yeah.
They're all like, oh,
There
what-
are people now that are becoming Catholics. Oh, not babies.
No, people.
No, yeah, there's
adults.
adult converts.
Okay.
Is it like a pickup game?
Well,
now?
how many has the number seemed to go down in the last few years, or stay the
Well,
the
this
same
is,
as in
this is my
past?
first Lent with a new parish, but at my old parish at St. Charles in Studio City, at least 25 to 30 people
Every year.
Every year, yeah.
Wow.
Adults coming in, and
You
then
have some
got-
good stuff. You have some good schools. You
Yeah.
have some beautiful churches. You
You-
have some
you
wonderful
do.
bingo
Oh,
and
it's-
parties,
it's
carnivals.
plural, you. I'm following.
Yeah.
And the-
Catholics are very fun.
yeah, we're the ones that allow you to drink the most out of all the Christian
Yeah.
denominations.
We get
Yeah,
wine
good
every
stuff.
week, baby.
Oh,
Come
what
on
a-
up.
Free wine with every and a snack with every service.
Yeah,
What
but
a good lifestyle promotion there, Cos. The Vatican, they put the ass in mass. That's all I got to say.
Hey. No, but on a serious note, I do want to say that this doesn't get addressed often enough. There was an independent sociological major study done when this whole priest-kid scandal exploded back in 2002 at first, and they've said that out of all in America they were looking at mainly, but that's where the biggest problems have been. That it's like 2% of all priests were even accused, with many of them found independently innocent of the accusations. Because let's face it, if you want to nail somebody, screw their career up or their life or their reputation, once the ball gets rolling that some people are really doing this kind of stuff, it's easy to throw an accusation out and really hurt people, But they said that only 2% overall were even accused, and that's, of course, terrible. There shouldn't even be one running around like this. But in general society, it's believed that 3% of the general male population are pedophiles, and so it's actually still 98% of priests are totally innocent. But it's just that it's so awful that anybody abusing that kind of trust is infinitely worse than an average Joe.
I've been touched inappropriately right here on the cause effect. Many times.
Wait, you're always on the other side of the table.
All right, it was me.
Okay.
Well, bouncing
you're a
very
girl.
quickly off of that, one of the other names that's been bounced around right now is Cardinal Dolan in New York City.
Oh, really?
There's also
Yeah.
the Cardinal in Boston, whose name's escaping me right
Not
now.
Law, I hope. He got sent off.
But Dolan, I think, would be good, especially coming in this new. I just heard this news story today about the transvestite parties and all that stuff. But Dolan was very active, and I was very glad that he was
those
active
parties?
when the sex scandals came out in the early part of the century. And he was very influential in getting these guys out and not just moving them around. That ticked me off to no end. And if I ever see Cardinal Mahoney, who is at my old parish, I see him, I will do my best, God, to not hit him, but it'll be hard. But because the pedophile shuffle ticked me off as a Catholic to no end, and Cardinal Dolan worked hard against that. So I think he would be a good person to step in, and because he was a big face and name with that.
They need that person.
I think so. It would be good public. And I wasn't.
And is he younger? Is he like under 80? Or
He's in his 50s.
Yeah, so he would actually last a while. But you said the pedophile shuffle. That's going to be the new YouTube craze after the Harlem Shake.
Oh, great.
Hey, jump in the saddle is ready to come back after the current shuffle. So yeah.
The cardinal that disappointed me most is probably Mark McGuire.
Steroids are always wrong.
Sports joke.
Hey,
Even I knew it was a sports
I'm a stand the man guy, so yes,
Just
very nice. He's the
barely.
cardinal that we all hate the most.
There
Mark
we go.
McGuire.
Wow. But one last thing I want to say about this. What they say that they found is that they caught priests on hidden camera dirty dancing at private parties.
Wait, like Patrick Swayze?
I guess, yeah. Be my little baby. And engaging in sex acts with male escorts on church property. He also caught them emerging from dark bedrooms just in time to celebrate Mass. In one post-coital scene, well, hey, I've emerged from my dark bedroom just in time to attend Mass. So, hey, in one post-coital scene, a priest parades around semi-naked, wearing only his clerical vestments. Well, that's a lot of material. His clerical vestments, that's the head-to-toe robes. How do they know what he's
Sometimes
not
you're
wearing
running
underneath?
late for Mass. We've all been there, right, Carl? As Catholics,
Yes.
we're running late.
Yeah.
Of course, we all have, even the Jews.
Yeah. You got
They're
to
like
just a
they're
little
the
more.
most
Sorry.
late.
You guys are
always
really late.
Exactly, but that's
Yeah.
why we can't be that. Wait, you saying they did a dirty dancing porno reenactment? What were you saying?
Well, there's that among the things that have been supposedly that are floating around in the Pope's that are being shown to him that made him want to leave faster was that they had evidence of video even of
See,
priests
unfortunately, the
dancing.
priests do put babies in the corner.
Yeah.
Of their private chamber.
See, I was gonna go. I was too late for that. Nobody puts Ratzinger in a corner, but I was too late. But nicely played. Nicely done.
Well, Patrick Swayze found out too much. That's why he's not with us anymore.
The Swedes.
Or is he?
Or is he really hiding out as?
Did they say they were dancing?
They said priests were dirty dancing
I'd
together.
really like to see that.
Wait a minute.
I'd really like to see that.
I know, the dirtiest dancing I've ever seen in a Catholic situation was at proms. We always had the priest. And I was
Priest
walking by
proms?
with rulers, separating couples in high school. But no, they did the Macarena back in the mid '90s at Cardinal George's residence, and they had a big party for where. Like the young adult ministries were allowed to come hang out for the day and meet the cardinal. And then some DJ starts playing the Macarena, and nuns were doing the Macarena. It was awesome. Including the butt slapping parts. Yeah.
Sure it was.
Hey, man.
No, that's awesome.
But,
I hope a nun becomes pope. Let's make it happen.
Well, we'll
she
see.
was still around, I would like to nominate Sister Susan from my 7th grade at St. Mary's. The woman came out. She
Shout
had,
out.
she
She came
had an
out.
acoustic guitar and
okay.
came out and started playing Van Halen on it.
Awesome.
She was tapping on an acoustic.
Not hot
That's
for
awesome.
teachers.
Sister
What
Susan,
song?
rest in peace.
Yeah.
What song was
Off the
it?
preacher.
Was it the ice cream man? Stop him from passing
It
by.
was Eruption. It was Eruption.
Oh, really?
She was tapping
Wow.
it, man. She was awesome.
That's cool.
Wow. Well, folks, moving on from the Vatican and Dennis Rodman and all that, apparently the Navy is building a shiny new drone base in sunny Malibu, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, may I correct that? I read your thing in the preview, whatever thing you get.
Yeah.
It's actually Point Mugu,
Okay.
which is just north of Malibu. It's
Well,
right outside
15
of
miles
Malibu.
west,
Yeah,
they said.
West or north?
They
whatever.
said west.
I think it's north.
Hey, you know, but a
I
drone
know.
is kind of capable
they
of
Are those
flying
international waters at
fast.
that stage? I don't
That's
know.
what they said. I think it might be out in the water because they said west.
It's going to be awesome, Carl.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, is
Okay.
anybody concerned about the fact that we're having drones, like, just expanding constantly as a presence
Well, I mean,
in our
if
lives?
if the drones are, if there's even a chance they're going to attack Barbara Streisand's mansion, then yeah, I'm entirely in favor of that.
Look, when I masturbate, there's usually a roof over my head, like my apartment or car or whatever it is.
They can see you.
I'm hoping they can, but I'm just going to hold out hope they can. But yeah, I mean, it could be for any of us. If they brought it out for Dorner, right, again, and they're keeping it around for the rest of us. I love it.
I think it should be more hush hush. I'm going to be honest.
Well, yeah,
It feels
You
like,
didn't know?
they fly silently.
well, I just feel like it's one of those things that ought to be a secret. I don't think we should all be saying, "Oh, here's where it is," or we shouldn't have it. What I mean,
think
let's
it's
have
like-
some good
I don't
old
think we
fashioned
should have
secrets.
any of it.
It's like the traffic light cameras. Like, you just know they're there. They may not be on, but you see them, you're like, oh, I'm not
You
going to.
shape up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're going to catch all the domestic terrorists, aka us, and I mean literally the people in this room. And you can't hide. You're not going to run. It's not going to be like the Queen Latifah movie where they rob a bank and get
Set
away.
it off.
Yeah, that's right. So, but they're going to set it off. The drones. I mean,
Well, to be fair, we've had drones patrolling the border since the Bush years. I mean, it goes back to about 2006.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that was when the unmanned drone program started on the U.S.-Mexico border. So, I mean, they had it back then. I would always take it on a case-by-case basis. I think there are legitimate uses for them, and I go back to bombing the shit out of Barbara Streisand. Very legitimate use.
Wow.
It's a Hollywood thing.
See, I thought you were in favor of Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I did. I
She's
mean,
a
is
Jew.
that just? Does it,
Some
I'm
things
sorry, but-
override the tribal code.
okay, I
Did
didn't
you
know
see the
that. I
Oscars?
didn't know
And
that.
She bombed
definitely
herself.
overrides that.
Oh yeah. Why do you have to put him on a guilt trip?
Oh.
Barbara.
Newest movie that did bomb.
Yes.
It's at the Dollar
Oh, yeah.
Theater already.
No, definitely. That was about the worst bomb of the last 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked promising.
I saw it. It was a cute little movie.
It's cute. Better than The Hobbit, right?
I would have, Penelope, it would have been delightful to share it with you.
Yeah.
would've.
Come on.
I bet it was good.
Yeah.
We need more cute.
Well, so, meanwhile, so nobody cares, we're going to get
no,
watched.
They're out there.
But
They're
yeah, I
out
think that's a good point that they've been out there.
there. Yeah.
They're cool looking planes. I mean,
Yeah, man.
they look like birds. I don't know.
They give medals out to the pilots, right? The pilots, quote unquote. They're going to give medals, like Medal of Honor, literally, the video game series.
Pretty
That's
much.
what they're giving out to
Well,
people.
speaking of destroying houses, after their suggestion that we take out Barbara Streisand and her compound, in Florida, a house above a sinkhole is about to be demolished
No.
because this dude's
This is
just
sad.
like, well, actually, it is kind of sad. I was like
Horrible.
torn. Do I make fun of this or not?
No.
And I thought, now you do.
Yes.
I mean, this guy is just sitting in his house and his brother's in another room, and here's his brother go, ah! And then, like, the floor, like, opened up underneath the brother, sucked him in, and they couldn't pull him out, and he's, like, lost in a giant sinkhole underneath his own house.
Is he
And-
still in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it opens up. It's a 15-foot hole at the top, but if they think it goes 50 feet deep and opens up 50 feet inside, and it's just
It's
a
Fraggle
sad
Rock.
thing.
That's what it is.
It's sad, but I guess, and they're kind of like, oh, that happens.
It's a southern thing.
It happens, but it sounds like just a freak thing, but the land underneath in Florida is like chalky.
Yeah.
And if enough rain comes down here's science. If enough rain comes down with carbon dioxide in it, the acid level in it will mix with that chalk and you'll have a sinkhole eventually.
Very
Wow, I learned something this week, ladies and gentlemen.
That's cute too.
And you know what? I may have gotten a lot of that wrong, but
Yeah.
that's the idea.
It sounded really, really
It might be
authoritative.
carbon monoxide. I don't know. Is it monoxide or you know what?
It's your oxide.
Starts with
How about
carbon.
that?
Yeah.
That's a monocle.
know.
What?
It's bioxide.
But that's what they're talking about, the chalkiness. But there haven't been many of these sinkholes, but they have them occasionally. Just usually not somebody's actual bedroom.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not targeting an actual person.
Usually
It's
not.
simple.
Usually
And
not.
in fact, and I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'm far from it. But I know we have.
Wait,
some
what are you
in the
doing
room.
here? Oh, no.
And all I could think about was there's a joke there. When I read the news story the other day, there's a joke there. I'm just not clever enough to know what it is. But the joke is that a giant hole swallows a guy whose name is Bush. There's a joke there somewhere, but I'm far not clever enough to know what it is.
Is that really?
I'm filling the blanket right now.
Look, I mean, I think we all know it's the inner Earth inhabitant beings that are causing these. I mean, I heard that on Coast to Coast, so
Maybe.
clearly it's true. But
Jim
I
Mars.
predict Chris Christie will form his own sinkhole in Jersey.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. How does Chris Christie manage to exist on a daily basis without creating a sinkhole? And this poor innocent guy is probably a
Because this
tenth
was in-
the size.
Because this was in Florida, and just some weird stuff happens in Florida,
It
and
does.
people just shake it off.
I think it's.
Well,
the-
Christie better not campaign in Florida. Is all
I
I'm
think
saying.
he's using the stand under your ground law. If he's even standing.
Oh my God.
Poor man. Of course,
It's
we all wish him
horrible.
the best. We wish him the best.
Well, he's dead, but okay. So
It's just scary.
Never underestimate the Morlocks. I mean, they could be
Morlocks?
taking good care of him, or the mole.
his last name is Bush, not Morlock.
Well, the Bushes are kind of Morlocks, aren't they? On the world stage.
Well, surprising survival tips coming in the news. They've now found that there's a baby in Mississippi that was born with the HIV virus in 2.5 years ago, and for the past year, the virus has been missing from the baby. So they're thinking this could be a breakthrough case in which somehow a human being was able to cure itself of the disease.
They sent him to the Keith Richards Transfusion Center. That's what happened.
Probably.
You know? Well, it could be disinfo, this AIDS curing thing. But I
You
don't know.
think?
Well, I remember people talking about this 15 years ago, saying there were AIDS-resistant prostitutes in Africa. And
Well,
now it's coming back.
you have to pay extra for that, don't you?
That's survival.
See you guys later.
Oh, you're headed to
Well,
Africa?
yeah, it could be. I mean, there's snake poison resistant handlers in India. They can get bitten and nothing happens. So maybe why
Wow.
not? If it's just a virus.
Is the idea that this baby its body just healed itself, or that this was a super baby that was in the lab figuring out the science behind this, and
I hope it's
maybe
super
has?
baby.
I hope it's a super baby too.
I want it to
baby
be super baby.
was the scientist?
Maybe.
Like a
I
little
just-
baby scientist?
His name's Cal
maybe.
Al? What?
That's the cutest.
Those kids are sharp these days.
Right, the Flintstone vitamins.
I don't know.
That's what it was.
I don't know. I hadn't heard of that. That's pretty incredible.
Very good. Someone put baby's AIDS in the corner.
Oh,
Quarantine.
jeez. I didn't think you could go lower after the Pope's joke there, but hey.
But good callback, though, there.
It was. But things can always get worse, though, in the news. We also have this week a lovely story of smart parenting in which a mother in Citrus Heights, California, was trying to send a photo of her 8-year-old daughter who was fully clothed to her older daughter, but hit the wrong button and wound up sending the image to 42-year-old Jason Weimer, who replied requesting more images of the child. The mother contacted the FBI, and now it is found that the dude is a sex offender who's known for seeking out child porn. Yeah.
Did she have his email address already, or was it just a mistake in typing?
They're saying it was a mistake in typing that she sent to him.
Texting, right?
Texting, yeah.
What
yeah.
is-
So that's easy.
What is the reason behind sending? Is it a naked picture of her?
No, it was like
Anywhere.
Like a
Anywhere.
bath time fun picture, I'm guessing.
No, she said it was a picture of her daughter, little 8-year-old daughter in a dress, sending it to her older daughter.
Oh,
Just
okay.
like, oh, look at lovely Cecily here.
Well, then I don't.
Oh, then this weird.
Was this guy in priestly training, or what's his
It was a
gig?
girl. No.
Oh no, the
Good point.
guy who received the picture.
That's 5 Hail Marys, right, Carl? I gotta say now.
Rosary.
Yeah, the last time I checked, that's no, I didn't.
I don't know what I
It's-
think about
it
that.
Sounds like an Anthony Weiner move. That's what he did. And it was a little more explicit of a picture, but that's what happens,
But you got to figure that the pedophile guy probably thought it was the luckiest day he's ever been alive to get
Like
this
kid
thing
porn,
out,
kid
out
porn
of
was
the
raining
blue.
from heaven.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, I know, free pics of,
Yeah.
you know what that was.
That's like you win the lottery, but you never bought a ticket or something like that.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
yeah.
was the little girl attractive? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
To
I'm
him,
just kidding.
he asked
It's
for more.
horrible. He shouldn't ask for more, but that is a setup.
Someone
I mean,
has a home screen photo.
That-
for a while.
Oh,
You
desktop.
know, I mean, it's better than a ringtone, man.
Is,
Yeah,
is Seth
desktop,
MacFarlane going to
exactly.
make a joke about whether or not she'll be dating George Clooney in 16 years?
There you go.
No,
But,
Points for the Oscar callback?
Dude,
No? All right.
too soon. The
No.
man was a producer on
Too
the.
soon. He has a beard right
Yeah.
now. He looks
What'd you
weird.
guys think? Did you guys think he did a good job?
I
Who,
like
the porn guy?
No, Seth MacFarlane on the.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's not funny. Like, I didn't think he was funny before that.
Oh.
I'm just jumping the bandwagon. Not that he didn't have a funny cartoon,
Me too.
yada yada. He's not a funny human being. You know, like the people in here.
He's
They
not a
got-
host. He's a writer. He's not a host. He doesn't know how to tell jokes. He's a piece of
Yeah,
shit.
he bombed on
Okay,
Jay
wow.
Leno.
He's a piece of shit.
Yes.
No, he is a piece
Okay,
of shit.
damn it.
okay, you've been clear.
I met him one time.
Oh, yeah?
And my buddy met him, and my buddy's met him a couple times, and he didn't remember his name. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna meet him one time.
That's all it takes.
I'll be his friend though, because I want to make it
Okay.
in this world.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
So
he was
what
just
did
he was
you
really
guys-
rude to them, or what?
something like that. We won't.
Listen, he bombed on Jay Leno like a few days before that. They were making like 70s sitcom reference jokes and stuff, and the audience was not even peeping or groaning. It's like, no, it's not funny just making that reference to the Jeffersons or whatever the fuck they were talking
And
about.
after every joke, he would be like, "Oh, well, that one bombed." That's like that's.
It's like, oh, I was sick and I was watching Roots again. Right?
Yeah.
LeVar Burton, terrific. Okay, song and dance number, not gay.
MacFarlane is probably one of the luckiest guys ever in the business. When you consider that, number one, that he was nearly killed on 9/11 and he was saved by his drunkenness
Yeah.
and missed his flight, and then he becomes a multi-millionaire essentially by putting hair on Homer Simpson and making
Yes.
the baby talk, which dinosaurs did before that. I mean, there was a Simpson ripoff before Family Guy that had the
The
baby
live
talk.
action?
Yes,
Yeah,
beautiful.
remember that?
Wow, TGIF.
Talk
right?
about a bad reference, by the way.
Yes.
Talk about a reference that'll just
No,
kill
not-
the room.
not the mama.
You bring up
Not the mama.
dinosaurs. Damn, that's just. I have absolutely killed the vibe here.
But
No,
did
you
you
did
think? Did you watch his?
I don't watch the Oscars.
Yeah, he's-
Okay, I'm with you.
What is this, a boycott or what?
I watched the whole thing just so I could be pissed at him.
I know
I'm
you
so
just.
mad that he's friends with Mark Wahlberg too, because Mark Wahlberg is the coolest dude.
Oh, you know what?
He's got
You
ass.
know what?
Yeah.
Put it all away now.
Are you serious?
Uncool.
Yeah.
woman
I don't
that doesn't
know.
like.
Because my friend one time, he forgot her name.
Oh,
No, I don't know. I don't know. I
Good
don't know.
callback.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was a good one.
Actually, I have heard he's a dick, but you know, who
Yeah,
knows? Who knows?
But it's Mark Wahlberg.
I don't know if we should hold it against Seth MacFarlane just based on your friend.
But also just his face, like that
Okay,
and
okay.
his face.
I mean,
Okay.
I watched the beginning of it,
Yeah.
and I think that the sketch with Captain
Shatner.
Kirk, with
Oh,
Shatner,
yeah.
went on a little too long. But I thought it would have been funnier had bring it back and don't front load everything at the beginning. Well, you're going to get better. Well, show him getting better. But what I did like about it was, and what I find interesting is that comedy, I think, has gotten too safe. And as the PC age has
Yeah, I think he said some pretty
evolved.
outrageous stuff that was
And
funny.
I mean, was all of it funny? No. But it's like the Zuckers. You throw everything out there. Some things will stick. Some things will make you groan. Some things will piss you off.
I was not.
Nothing's sacred or nothing
Yeah.
should be sacred in comedy.
I was not offended. Nothing he said was like taboo to me. It was just his delivery and the fact that he has a stage. It just pisses me off. No, I'm serious because
his
I see
face.
Yeah,
I see
exactly.
open micers have more stage presence and have worked harder. Like not worked harder, but I don't know. It's just with all his jokes, he undercut him at the end. He's like, because no one laughed. He's like, oh, well, no one laughed at that one. That's such an amateurish move that I hate.
For like between watching the Grammys and the Oscars, and within the span of a few weeks, my vomit bucket is full, like to the brim. It's seeping out of the top. And why have the Oscars and just have people sing shitty songs for half the running time? whether it's Streisand, Nora Jones, like whatever.
My
How
favorite
about
part
movie
is that
shit?
you watch it all.
No, I didn't. Nope. I didn't say that. I said I watch them. What I really do is download them and track through very fastly.
While you're vomiting.
Well,
That's cool.
what bothers me as a movie fan, and I'm old enough to remember when Carson hosted and when Bob Hope would host, and I think that what we're seeing now at the Academy Awards, just in the search for ratings, is a devolution and a
Devolution!
a demystification.
Sounds like a
and
diva
you're
revolution.
basically taking it's. The Academy Awards is supposed to be, not a stuffy, but it's the Academy Awards. It's an austere thing, and they're turning it into the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Rickles is one of my favorite comedians of all time, and take the piss out of things at the Golden Globes. People are getting drunk. Make that the roast. When you're making the Academy Awards a roast kind of
I think it's
platform,
about ratings.
it's all about ratings.
and
Absolutely.
the Academy
They did great.
Awards are boring
Ratings.
and long, and they have an older audience, so they're trying to get in.
And they accomplished their goal.
Yeah, they got the 25 to 49, what they wanted, or the 18 to 49, they got it.
Yeah.
But at what cost? I mean, I'd like to see a guy. I know it didn't get that good a raise, but I think Hugh Jackman brings a good. I think there's
Yeah, he's
a
pretty
wide
talented.
thing,
Song and dance.
and he can do.
He's a performer.
He's a performer. Exactly. I mean, who's another? I mean, I think someone suggested Paul Rudd. I think he could handle.
Oh God, he is so likable. He's the most likable.
But Billy
person in the
Crystal
world.
was a
What a
great host.
gentleman.
When he was on, Billy Crystal was great because he could handle funny and he could handle the serious part.
I
of
won't
it.
talk shit about Jews. Is that correct?
I'd like Barbara Streisand to do it.
Boy,
She'll be worried about her home being demolished. She's
I
busy.
know.
So.
And Shatner at least was prophetic because he did predict he would suck, that McFarlane would suck right in the beginning. So they really stuck to that metaphysical concept there.
That bit.
Yeah, it was very meta. And basically get someone, just let a fat person do it. Please.
Hey!
I know you want
Hey!
that cause.
yes, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of another fabulous episode. I think we've all learned a lot, especially from Penelope with the stunning scientific
Science,
information.
Penelope.
Yeah.
Wow.
I might have made it up.
Anti-conservative. Yeah. Made up science.
Yeah.
But anybody got anything they want to plug for this week, or were they appearing, Thomas? Or
Oh,
anyone else?
I do a weekly show in Orange, California, which is about an hour south of LA.
Nothing
So
rhymes with
every-
orange.
Yeah. So it's at 149 Sports Grill in Orange.
What day and time?
Tuesday 7:30, and then there's an open mic at 9. So every
Awesome.
week. So come on down and have some fun. We have really good burgers and pizza.
That sounds good.
I'm there.
Very quickly, I just want to say my group is the Republican Party Animals.
Oh, you're the guy.
RepublicanPartyAnimals.org. And on Tuesday, you can catch me at Uncle Chuckle's Laugh Bucket in Temecula.
For real?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing a full set. So please.
Oh my!
I'll be on Professor Hans von Puppet on sex,
What?
I think this week. Yeah. Yeah,
Professor Hans
he's a very popular puppet.
Well, maybe that's where you've been touched inappropriately.
My laugh bucket is
Yeah.
full.
No, he's
What?
dignified.
Where's this found at? Or this is a joke, right?
No, it's not.
Okay, well, no, where can people find the show?
Well, it'll be on YouTube, but I think if you put in Professor Hans, it'll fill in Von Puppet. That's how popular he is.
Wow.
Fills it in with a sex show, but neither.
Oh, it's a dignified discussion of
All
sex.
filler, no killer.
Yes.
All right.
He's a professor, people.
Well, we'll have to have a dignified discussion of sex sometime here. All right, folks, so thanks for tuning in. I'm Carl Kozlowski, and from all our panelists, have a good week and good night.